Welcome back to Stand With Us. I'm Roz Rothstein. We're on JLTV, and we're talking about young leaders for the State of Israel, people who care so much about the State of Israel and then apply to our MZ Teens program funded by the MZ Foundation. Thank you very much. And we are growing because we have to. This is such an important program. We are offering support and training and making future leaders for college campuses and for their communities and beyond. These kids are just superstars. And I know before we came back during the break, you told me a little bit about something that's been going on in Seattle. And I think that everybody would be very interested in hearing that story.
Well, exactly. Seattle is a part of my region as well, because I work with the entire western region of the United States. And we have two interns in Seattle, Yoni and Molly. And Yoni goes to a Jewish school, Molly goes to a public school. And both of them wanted to host me as a speaker when I came to Seattle, because when we do trips, we try to make sure that we're as efficient as possible and really doing as many events as we can. And Molly was working very diligently with her teacher, asking him, I want to bring in this speaker, I want to bring in this speaker. And her teacher was like, I don't want to seem biased. I don't want the school to say no or to be upset with something. So she was like, okay, Sarah will work with you in any way that she can so that the topic is something that you're comfortable with. And I came up with our research team at Stand With Us with a presentation talking about the Middle East. And is the Middle East really a free place? Do they really have freedom in the Middle East? And through that, we were able to show that really the only democracy in the Middle East is Israel. And all these students that would have no exposure to this at all were able to hear this presentation and be active listeners because of our intern Molly at Tacoma High School in the Seattle area. They also brought us in for a leadership dinner. Molly and Yoni hosted a leadership dinner. So we had these students that were at this other school, at these various schools in the Pacific Northwest, coming together to become leaders for Israel as well.
So it really goes viral. It really, making one or two great leaders that are this age, if they're dynamic and they understand the material and they really want to be leaders, it's not so difficult to then, just take them up to the next level, which is why it's so important that we support this program. And I want to remind everybody, Stand With Us needs your support. We do a lot of things, and it all circles around programs that are incredible like this, that are growing, that are touching our future and present students. And you know what I learned? I learned that, sometimes it's who gets to these kids first. There's a big effort out there trying to push misinformation into the heads of young adults, even going down to junior high school. And if misinformation gets promoted first, that's what those kids walk around with. The more we push out good information, the better we are with when later in their lives, when they're on college campuses, they're going to hear lies about Israel, and they will, very likely, strong likelihood, from a professor, from a student group that really wants to, impact future support for Israel. We need to be there. We need to educate. So empower us. You can help be our partner. Empower Stand With Us. We are in the right place at the right time, and we're doing fantastic work, as you can hear. So thank you for that story. That is really a terrific story. Is there anything else that challenging? Any stories of, that they've overcome?
Well, before we speak about that, I just wanted to echo what you just said, how important it is for this program to grow, and for all of our programs at Stand With Us to grow. We find students throughout the year who didn't get a chance to apply for the MZ Teens internship, or they didn't know about it. And all of a sudden that they want to make a difference. And we need help in order to be able to help those students and to be able to accept more MZ Teens and to be able to work with more youth groups and more schools throughout the year. So, this program has gone viral. There are very few people that don't know about this program. And we need to be able to make it bigger so that we can help the students to make that difference.
And now you know about the program too, just in case you didn't, because you don't have a grandchild or a child in high school, you may not have known about it, but now you know about the MZ Teens. And if your kid is a superstar, they're a leader, make sure they know when it's time. When is it time, by the way, to apply?
We will start the application process during Passover. So in mid-April is when we'll open up the applications. But the important thing is that students, as we said, they're self-selected. They can't just apply on their own. They have to be recommended by a teacher, by a youth group advisor, by a student, a community leader, or by one of our current MZ teens to apply for the program. So if you know of a student who really would benefit from this program, would really make a difference in their communities, go ahead and recommend them to us. You can find our information on our Stand With Us website, and we'd love to hear from those students.
So every year in around April, it opens up?
Yes.
Every year around April, and it goes through till?
Till about
When does
May.
It close? It closes
About
end of May?
Beginning of May, and that's when we start the interviews.
Okay, so then there's an interview process. This is not a shoo-in. It's, you know, there's going to be competition. So
It is very much competition. We don't accept even, I don't think, half of the students that apply, because we need to make sure that these students are leaders and have the tools and the resources aside from what we give them, but also to bring these programs into their high schools, into their youth groups, into these kinds of situations.
yes, they have to be the right student, and we don't want to frustrate kids who care but are not necessarily the right student for this particular job. Now, you were going to tell a story.
Yes, so I think that, you know, one of the beautiful things about the MZ Teens internship is that the students can really take what they want with the internship and make it their own. We have 2 students in New Jersey who have really made the internship go viral. And, you know, they've made a difference in their communities, and I think that that's one of the beautiful things.
So when we come back, you'll tell us how they made a difference in their communities. We're going to take a short break. Don't leave us. We'll be right back at Stand With Us.